Hi again, how are you? Welcome back. I am feeling so festive. I have brought out the reds because we are now in the midst of what is almost holiday season. That means decorating and going to parties and breaking out all the fun clothes. And that means red lips. That's right, it's the time of year when you can really play and experiment and go for the drama at night and pop in some red and make that a makeup statement on your face. There are so many different types of reds and colors from which to choose, but there are a couple of favorites of mine, and precision is key when it comes to red lips. In fact, if you ever want to study the perfect red lip application, just pull up any Taylor Swift photo. She is the queen. Now, I don't know if she's doing this by herself or if she has a makeup artist who knows how to do it perfectly, but I really admire her red lip application, and I use that as an inspiration today to show you some of the techniques and tricks of the trade that I've learned to make red lips not only stay, but also precise and to match the shade of your skin. So, are you ready? Here we go. Let's back up the video. Okay, so we're ready for our red lip application. Naturally, it starts with a lip liner. I go with either a reddish brown or a reddish plum color. Not true red. I tend to go a little more neutral on that lip liner color. This one is called Nutmeg, and I wish I could tell you who made it, but I think I have filed past the name, and so it is the elusive Nutmeg. I have no idea, but I do use MAC lip liners all the time, and I know at the MAC store you can find many shades that will work with a red lipstick. So we'll start with this, and I'm going to follow my lip line, but what I'm going to do is come a little bit higher here in the bow area and make it a little bit more pointy. My lips are rounded, and I like for an evening look to have it a little bit pointier. And I'm not going to go too far out of my lip line because that's going to look a little too unnatural, and my lips are large enough as it is, but I just want to make this more pointy up top and not so rounded. And then I'm going to bring it straight down. And I go over it a few times until I get it just right. And you really want to take your time with a red because mistakes are pretty obvious. But we do have ways to clean those up, and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, now the bottom lip. And again, I will follow right here along the bottom part, and I will come in a little bit more on the inside, so it gives a bit of a pout. So it's like a window frame. We have now framed our window, and we will now apply the paint. All right, so this to me is the key with red lips. I feel that you need more of a stain than a glossy lipstick, only because, ladies, as you know, when you go out at night, you're eating, you're drinking wine, you don't want all of your lipstick, A, on the glass, B, on the fork, or C, running down every line and crease on your lower lip, or especially down the corners. That might be great for Halloween, but it's not what we're going for here. So I found a really nice stain. It's a funny story. I was at Ulta a couple of weeks ago on a hunt for a great true red lipstick, and while I was there, one of the sales ladies had on what I thought was the perfect red, and I hunted her down. In fact, I think I attacked her, and I said, "You must tell me what you're wearing." And she smiled and she said, "Oh, it's right over here. It's the Stila, and it's a lip stain, and this one is called Beso, number 10. What I like about this, it has a wand, but I'm not going to use that wand because it's not going to be precise. So I take my lip brush that I use for my lipsticks, and I will use that brush and get the product on it. And this way I feel I can get more of a precise application of Beso. And here we go. And it's drying pretty quickly. It's going to have a nice matte finish. I also want to let you know that before I used my lip liner, when I applied my makeup, I took a little bit of foundation, just a little, and I put it on my mouth, and I dabbed it with powder as well, which gave it a good base to set all of this with. And I'm bringing it right up to the area that I drew in. I'm not going past it because I don't want any color to bleed. This sort of reminds me of art class. My Beso is in place and is drying. Here's what I'm going to do next. And this happens easily when you apply a red, but sometimes it might go a little bit outside the line that you drew, especially here on the bottom or on the outer corners. And if you find that you've got some bleeding going on there with your lip color, here's what I do. I take this brush, again, a brush that I got at MAC. It's pretty flat, not too big, and I will dip this either in my foundation or a concealer, but I tend to go more with foundation only because concealer can be a little too light. But if you have any areas that need smoothing out, take just a tiny, tiny bit of foundation inside this flat brush, and now you use this to clean up areas. And this really gives you a precision look. Or even if your line is just a little uneven, this is a great way just to sharpen it up. Once I'm happy with everything, I can assess, and I love to color layer. So I find it's very rare that I find one color that does the job. In this case, this can definitely work, although the red that I'm wearing is a little bit more of an orangey, pinky red. So now I might take another lipstick and put that on top. If I want to go deeper, I can go more to the bluish reds, the brown reds. If I want to go lighter, I can add an orangey or a pinky red with a little bit of iridescence to it. Again, I'm not going to add a gloss on top of this because, again, I don't want it all to run. But I will add a lipstick that's not quite a matte, you know, maybe an in-between. A little bit of moisture, but not much. And I'll avoid my lip line area. But I found a color by Christian Dior that I really like. It's called Rouge Dior. And it is, I don't know if you can see, but kind of an orangey with a little iridescence, more of a muted red. So I'm going to now take that and add that on top just to cut out some of the brightness of this. Make it a little bit more subtle. If you are a little more olive or yellow toned in your skin, the orangey reds will play well. And if you're fair, it seems the bluer reds work really well on that skin tone. So sometimes it's just a matter of experimentation and finding out what works for you. But these are my red tricks of the trade. Again, stick with the stain. You'll be really happy because you won't be seeing your lipstick on everything and everybody else besides yourself. So remember, follow me on social media. I'm available in all of these different areas, as well as KPRC Local 2 at 5, 6, and 10 and click2houston.com. As we get into the holiday season with all of our fun parties and places to go, remember, go out there, be bold, be blessed, and I will see you in a week.